How we doing? I hope everybody's really well, looking after yourselves out there. I just want to follow up on a story that I was covering there recently called Where's Ireland Gone? So I was looking at the Eurostat Excess Mortality data and I noticed that Ireland was missing from the lineup. And I thought, well, that's most peculiar. Where's Ireland gone? Because Ireland is a really important case study because when we're looking at this scamdemic, which is exactly what it was, Ireland is one of the best examples of why it was a scamdemic, which is why it's worth showing time and time again. Plus, you want to send people the links. You want to say, look, have a look at these links, test it out for yourself, make your own charts, make your own graphs, see for yourself. This is really important that you're not just taking my word. Somebody on X said, well, you just show me a graph. And I'd send them the link and say, well, go and check it out for yourself. It's really, really important that we have this. So the Eurostat excess mortality data for all the EU countries really is brilliant. And I've been going through each country and learning myself and sharing that learning and then putting it out into the open for public scrutiny so we can learn together. So really, really important. Somebody else might have a bit of information that I've missed, can point something else out over there. It's so important that this is out in the public domain so we can debate and chat about it openly. So it really is a brilliant resource. So when I saw that Ireland was missing from the lineup, I got onto the Eurostat offices. So they're under the European Commission. So I just want to share what I found and what I got. But maybe before we do all of that, because I've been testing this out on different computers to see, is it just me? It could be just me. Sometimes it is. And I've been finding that Ireland is missing from the lineup. Okay. So maybe just check it out yourself. Now, how do we check it out? So let me show you. So how you check it out is if you just type in Eurostat excess mortality into Google, it'll bring you here. Okay, so you get the highlights. This is for all the 27 countries across the EU. So excess mortality reached 3.5% in June, and it'll go through it all for you, right? Now, how do you get over to the data set? So just come down here, right? That's the top. Just come down here under the highlights. You'll see monthly excess mortality. Come down here and you'll see access to dataset. Okay. Let me just bring that up now so you can see, because it's really important. I really want everybody to be able to do this. Okay. Access to dataset. So let's just click in here. So once we click in there, we get the excess mortality by month. Okay. And it brings us through all the 27 countries from 2020. Okay. And it's using the baseline of the 2016-2019 average per country. Okay. So usually Ireland's in the lineup when I do this. On I go. I was like, where's Ireland? Couldn't find it. And they're all in there. So then I asked a few people, I said, can you see Ireland? They can't see Ireland either. So I've written about it on Substack. I thought, where's Ireland gone missing? And why is this suddenly, all of a sudden, because it's such a brilliant case study, because it exposes the scam, we get to see exactly what happened. Because Ireland is so small, we have a small population. We know each other. We even know the names of the people who died in the nursing homes. That's how small we are. We know when they got their injections. We know how soon they died afterwards. We have so much information. We have it. We have it all. And the Eurostat excess mortality data is really, really important in this evidence for we the people, because we know there's a giant cover-up going on. And if we expose this together, we could win quite easily, which is why I'm always perplexed as to why people don't use these Eurostat excess mortality data, why they're sitting on them. I think it tells a lot about the operations out there when they ignore this data. It informs me as to who I'm dealing with anyway. Right, so I got onto the media support and they said, thanks for your message. I could not open your specific data selection. The link does not open. So then I sent it on again. Let me just go back here now, 1 second. So I just asked, can you explain why Ireland's been removed from the Eurostat excess mortality dataset? Is it an administrative error or did somebody instruct its removal? Fair enough question. And then I give the link. Thanks. So anyway, they came back to me. Right. Oh yeah, she wanted the link. So I sent the link again. Please note its absence from the list attached. Do you know when Ireland is going to be reinstalled? So I'm really concerned about this. This is a big deal. How come Ireland's disappeared? We need this information. This is vital information. And I've sent the attached link, what I've just shown you there. Where's Ireland? So now this is interesting. She sent back to me, dear Ashley, in the bookmark you sent, all right, which is what I open up. I just open it up. If you click on the edit button next to geopolitical entity, you will see that in your bookmark, Ireland is not selected. And I am just wondering, is this something that's happening in Ireland? I'd love everybody to check and to come back to me. Are you getting Ireland in the lineup? Is it there, or is it just me and a few others? Because it's not turning up in my lineup. Now, I'll show you how you can get it if it's not. Okay, so this is really important, and she has shown me this. Okay, so let me just show you. Look at this, 6666 values displayed. Ooh, there's 666 again. Now, okay, so this is the little button. It's beside geopolitical entity reporting. So let me go back. It's worth it. Just stick with us. It is worth it because people need to know how to do this. The point of my Substack is to get the information out, and once it's out, people can be more informed, and then we can be better in conversation with people, and we can show. I mean, showing people the way. What do you think? Don't you think it's a bit odd that the numbers went up? Don't you think it's a bit strange that the mainstream media won't cover this? Don't you think it's a bit strange that the alternative media won't cover this? When we have this perfect case study that we can all look at together. Right, so we're back in here again now, okay? So let me just go up here. So there we have our geopolitical entity, all right? This is our geopolitical entity reporting. So there's that little thing there. Click on that, all right? And then go down here. And there's Ireland not clicked for some reason. I don't know why. You've got to click on it. Okay, you've got to click on that and then save and go to data view. Okay. Now, so there's Ireland back on again. Okay. And that is how you can check. That is how you can do your own charts, do your own graphs. I'll just show you some of the graphs I've done. Feel free to do them yourselves. Let's cross-reference. Let's make sure we're both right. You know, I love open learning. I think it's the best way. People with something to hide, they don't want us talking like this. You know, they don't want us talking freely. They don't want us cross-referencing, say, with Ireland excess deaths, showing the RIP.ie figures, which corroborate what is going on here on the Eurostat figures. We've got the CSO figures as well. We need to use them all, and we need to prove our point. And we need to ask, why is this not being covered in the mainstream media? We know why. They're in cover-up mode. They're covering up the body count. I mean, it's as clear as anything. They're covering up the body count because they told people to get injected with this poison, essentially. This is a bioweapon that they're calling a vaccine. And we have to show them. Now, a lot of them already know. They're just in cover-up mode. But we have to use this as evidence because we really are in a race against time. I don't think people quite understand the urgency of what we're up against. We only have a small window of opportunity in order to be able to get the information out there in a free way where we can discuss it openly. We know they're trying to shut down these kinds of conversations. Therefore, it's really, really important that we get the message out and that people share this information. I know I'm blue in the face from sharing it and talking about it. People say, well, you know, what are we going to do about it? Well, what we're going to do about it is we're going to get the word out. So, I mean, I've done it in one of my Substacks, but I mean, we need to do it in a myriad of different ways using all of our talents. I know there's a lot of talent out there. So visual guide, again, I'm a visual person, need to see things clearly to be able to understand them in order to be able to tell people about them. So we need to look at this, the Eurostat excess deaths. This is Ireland 2020, and this is why it's such a good case study. We have that one peak in April 2020, which corresponds with the nursing home cull, essentially, when the elderly were put on end-of-life protocols, and they called it a pandemic. But this isn't a pandemic because this is not how a deadly airborne virus operates. So anybody with half a brain cell working can understand that. Okay, so most of 2020, it was actually below average mortality. Okay, so we saw that one spike. We have the names of the people. We have the nursing homes. We know it was more or less in the east of the country. We know that it was more or less private nursing homes. So a really funny kind of virus, isn't it? And there we go. We have the numbers as well. Really important. That's just my way of putting it out, but I know there's going to be somebody with a better idea and how to make it even more visual, even better for people to understand. There was no pandemic. There was no deadly airborne virus that you could breathe in and breathe out on top of somebody else, and then they're going to breathe it in, breathe it out on somebody else, and if somebody sneezes, they're going to catch it. And that is how the mentality was at the time, continues to be. We have this flu season now going on, and we know people's immune systems have been weakened by these injections. and they're telling them to take more injections. And people don't know which way is up and which way is down. Well, we can help them clarify that. So, I mean, look at April. So it just shoots right back down in April 2021, right? That's going to show you this is not how an airborne deadly virus operates. It's because the medical intervention stopped. So it went right back down to zero and then back up again when the injections started to go out. Okay. Once the injections started to roll out, we see in April over the 1, 2, 3, 5 years, over the 5-year period, we can see then that they start to go up again. So 2021, look at 2021. This is in line with the injections. The injections go out and then we see excess mortality shoot up. So this is why those Eurostat excess mortality data figures are so important. Once you compare them to the 2016-2019 average, it's really important. So we see again, they start to shoot up and they start to stay above average. We have the numbers there. We have a little example of August 2020, nothing happening. And as soon as the injections go out, up they go. And down a little bit in 2024, but still way above average. 2022, here we go again. We only have 1 month in 2022 that was below average. The rest is strikingly high. What is it, around 26 there, ending off December 2022? Yeah, 25.7, okay? So ridiculous. And here's another example. So in September, from September 2020, it's down at zero. As soon as those injections start coming out, look at September. And nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about it. So this is absolutely ridiculous that nobody's talking about it. We need to be talking about these Eurostat excess mortality figures every day of the week. We need to be showing them to people. We need to be getting the word out there. We cannot let this slide. If you let this slide, you're more or less saying, well, it doesn't really matter if people are dying after these injections that they told us were vaccines, that they told us we needed because there was some deadly bug in the air that could kill us. When we have all the evidence and proof of 2020, we can see that there wasn't. And we know the elderly were put on end-of-life protocols, including midazolam. And we have those receipts too. So we have all the evidence. This is why Ireland is such a brilliant case study. So now, 2023, we have a full year of excess deaths. Full year. And the media have gone all quiet about it because they're killing us. Because they're killing us, they don't want us to talk about it, and they don't want us to know about it. Right? That's the bottom line. January is going up and down, it's zigging, it's zagging. But again, we see January 2020, nothing happening. And then as soon as those injections were out, look how high it goes. 21 and stabilizing there in January, still 5% above average. So nobody talking about it. It's really eerie. It's really weird when people aren't talking about this. And then we have, for the full year again of 2024, full year of excess deaths. And we know that the Irish Times bought RIP.ie. They slapped charges on in January 2025. We can see they've gone down. Is that something to do with the charges? We know this is very troublesome that we can see this information. We know they don't want us to see this information. And they'll go to great lengths to cover up the crime. So that's why we have to be one step ahead of the posse and using what we have at our disposal any chance we can. We can't let these things slide. It's way too important to let these things slide. So there are the numbers again. Okay, and there's July. Just another example. July was below average. And by the time July 2024 hits, look how far up it is. What is that now? 2024, July. It's 17.2%. 17.2% above average, and nobody's talking about it. So this is why the Eurostat excess mortality data is so important, and why we should all be looking at it and all using it. I mean, that's the way it should be. So I think we figured out where Ireland went. Now, you see, they kind of just said, oh, well, that's the link you sent me. It's the link you sent was wrong. I'm like, well, that's the link I'm getting. So I want to make sure everybody else is getting that link too. So if you wouldn't mind testing out that link that I sent you initially and coming back to me and just letting me know, do you see Ireland in the lineup? And if not, are you able to get it? I've shown you now the steps, but I think it's really important that we all have access to it and that we use it time and time again and keep an eye on those Eurostat excess deaths. And maybe they might be pulled from us one day. But at least if we have a lot of people covering it and a lot of people bringing down the data, if a lot of people saving the data, really important, because we know the way things are going. A lot of stuff is disappearing from the internet, and then they look at you and say, well, what are you talking about? You're just a conspiracy theorist. We can't trust you. We need more people looking at it and more people saving the data. Really, really important. So that's all. I just wanted to go through that with you and explain why these are so important and why Ireland is one of the best case studies when it comes to the scamdemic in Europe. I have it covered thoroughly. If anybody would like to go back over my Substack, share. Time is of the essence. They're killing us. They're killing us. All right. This isn't a joke. This isn't a drill. We have the numbers. They put out poisonous injections to do this. We have all the data. So what are we going to do about it? All right. Take care. Bye-bye.